Greetings. On this episode of What's in the Box, I got a special treat for you. I got two boxes, but one of the boxes is from the Czech Republic. So there should be some really cool stuff inside of that one. So without further ado, let's open these guys up and see what's inside. Alright, inside of this one, we got some more small boxes. First one so these are MTS modules. Go into your Randall or your Ignitor or even your Synergy. These are all custom modded by Salvation Audio. This one I got here is Band, which is Anton's take on classic Marshall sound. But look at the detail. I mean, Marshall knobs, even a little light just like you would have on a lot of the amps, and similar coloring. So this is going to be really fun to check out. All right, the next one is the Humble Overdrive. Humble Overdrive is Salvation Audio's take on a Dumble circuit, so this will be really fun too. Actually, it'd be really fun to compare that against the Overdrive Special Synergy that I have behind me over here. All right, next module. Next module is Orange Overdrive. So basically, take on classic orange amps of the day back in the 70s. This should be really fun for the classic rock tones. And last box. This one is called the Shiver. Shiver is actually Salvation Audio's take on the Bogner Shiva. So another one that should be really interesting. Awesome. All right, so the next box, a little bit bigger. Grab that knife. We'll open this one. Oh, wow. There we go. All right, pretty big. It's at least 2U. Oh, there we go. Got it. All right. It's kind of a rare piece. This is an Ampeg system selector. This was actually sent to the Ampeg dealers who were selling Ampeg amps and cabs, and this was a way for them to go ahead and showcase, 8 amps that they'd have on the floor and 8 cabs, and you could select each amp individually. You can select each cab individually. Each one of these channels actually has a load resistor, so you can actually do it with tube amps and then not harm the tube amp when you were switching to a different cabinet. I've got a couple of these actually. One that runs this big rack right here, and then one that runs my my amp rack over there with all my amp heads. This is probably one of the least expensive ways to do amp and cab switching. Amp Pete's out there, that's one that I've been looking at. That's really expensive. These are another alternative. I think there's one more out there I'll have to put down in the comments or down in the bottom of the video that you guys can check out. But if you can find one of these, because they're kind of rare, this would be one way to go. On a side note, the one that runs this rack, actually I modified to be, instead of 8 amps, as you can see here is 8, I modified it to do 16. So I actually had bank 1, bank 2, and then I had another switch that did the 8 cabinets I've got. So I will probably modify this guy as well, but I'll at least take you on that journey when I'm building the rig. So without further ado, let's take a look at the modules. All right, I pulled an RM4 from the rack. I've got all the modules installed in the RM4. That goes through the effects loop. I've got a Rep effects with solo backing on, and that goes to a 252 VHT power amp and then out to a 412 cabinet. Right now I've got a guitar probably for each one of these modules. This one is a Telecaster I built with double Lawler humbuckers. They're Imperials. And first module I'm going to go through is the Overdrive, which to me is a very classic rock, kind of fuzz tone sounding module, and kind of chosen a riff or a vibe for each one of them. I'm going to go one by one and hear what they sound like. Alright, on to the next module. Next module is Salvation Audio's Band, which is their take on all the best Marshall amps. And probably more fitting, one of the most fitting guitars you do for a Marshall is going to be Gibson ES335. This one actually is a ES335 Studio from the mid-80s, or late 80s. Studio is actually a pretty rare one. The reason why this is kind of rare is there's no F-holes in this guy. So normally a 335 will have F-holes, this one is none. The reason why I like that the most is you look at the back and there's a cavity to get to the electronics. That way you don't have to fish them through the F-holes and go through that kind of gymnastics. Came originally with Dirty Fingers pickups. I changed them out to Imperial Lawlers. Maybe one of these days I'll put them back in. But we're going to find out what this sounds like through that module. That's the band. Alright, next module is Salvation Audio's Shiver, which is their take on a Bogner Shiva. And for this one I've chosen G&L Rampage. This is actually a tribute version of Jerry Cantrell's guitar. So I can give you one guess what kind of music I'm going to play next. So let's see what it sounds like. Alright, last module, Humble Overdrive. Humble Overdrive is Salvation Audio's take on a Dumble. So I've kind of dialed it in a little bit. For this one I'm going to use my Lawler wide range humbucker on the neck pickup of this Tele. It's probably like the second guitar I ever built, but I still love it. It's an awesome guitar. So for this, I'm going to play some type of bluesy vibe nonsense that I'm just going to make up on the spot. Should sound good, hopefully. So that was 4 Salvation audio modules. Brought 4 guitars to play 4 clips through them, 4 riffs through them. Want to give a big shout out to Mr. Michael Nielsen. I'm wearing his Amp Smasher shirt today. He's actually the inspiration for me doing these videos. Completely inspired by his channel. So I'm going to do gear reviews, I'm going to do playthroughs, builds, a bunch of cool guitar stuff. And so I really watch his channel, subscribe to his channel. Stay tuned for more stuff on my channel. Subscribe to mine if you like it. And hopefully we do a lot more of these.